I'm just Sir, and welcome back. Now, as it's apparent to see, I have been off the past 2 days and have missed the game match between Arsenal and Aston Villa last week, and I'm now just catching up on Arsenal and Arsenal's most recent game against Manchester United. Now, to be honest, I haven't been able to keep up with the rampant schedule of late, and that is expected to continue with Arsenal taking on Everton on Sunday, and also playing a Europa League match midweek. So there's a lot to take in, and I'm only one person, and therefore I don't think I'll be able to with the new month of September just having started. I don't think I'll be able to keep up with all the matches, but I'll try my best. Therefore, going back to analyzing the two last matches for Arsenal, it's apparent to tell that those games showcased Arsenal's true colors. As much as I hate to say it, they showcased some leaks in their defense specifically, and while some of the plays you could argue that were some of the cons that were against them were not to the fault of their own, as not only did Douglas Luiz put in a golazo for the ages, but he could have potentially Aaron Ramsdale could have potentially been hindered from receiving that by Jacob Ramsey, and not even mentioning how the controversy between Arsenal and Manchester United with the first goal by Gary Martinelli being taken away off a foul by Martin Odegaard. Now, it's one's interpretation as to how Odegaard fouled him or whether he did. That is up for discussion. What isn't up for discussion is the fact that the referee had a very good view on it and decided to let play on, and would only be saved by VAR, right? And rightly so. But it was kind of frustrating that I had to get to that point. Nonetheless, with all the leaks in our Arsenal's defense starting to come in, there have been some consistent shows of improvement from Williams Saliba and Alexander Zinchenko, who came back. But then again, also Zinchenko was at fault for the first goal in the United game. So that's definitely something to work on. And while again their attacks in both matches was was more um, was more dangerous in the first game against Aston Villa, with the two Gabriels, Jesus and Martinelli connecting on both goals. They were definitely keen on winning that game against Aston Villa, and that was good to see. While on contrast to games against United, it was more so a testament to how good United was and how stingent they were in their defense, particularly Losandro Martinez. For how small he is very feisty and did not let Arsenal get through it all, and proved very frustrating for Gabriel Jesus, whom received a yellow card in that match because of it. Unless because Saka did get on the score sheet again against United, but in that first goal, the first goal was taken away really seemed to affect the momentum and their confidence with them being frustrated by United. There was really no way for them to really play the game they want to play, and when they can dictate the style of play, there's no stopping them. But United was very keen on limiting that, and as a result, Arsenal saw very little ability to showcase their worth. And as they go into next weekend's Everton, I do hope that's something they can work on, is getting back to basics and just continuing their dominance in dictating. They struggled. Admittedly, they struggled with possession early in the game against Manchester United, but they got their way. They found their way back and did eventually regain control, and particularly gaining almost 60% of the possession at one point. So that was encouraging. But I think as well, as much as Alexander Conga, he has not been really able to fill the hole of Thomas Partey in controlling the midfield. and that's definitely a weakness that was capitalized upon by United and particularly Aston Villa, who weren't too shabby themselves early in the match against Arsenal, only only being denied by Aaron Ramsdale, who was excellent as always in that match. And interestingly enough, as we just passed the transfer deadline day, Arsenal tried a pretty cheeky attempt signing to acquire Douglas Luiz, who just so happened to score the absolute worldly against them a day earlier. And I was very certain that that deal would fall through, but unfortunately, it fell apart at the last minute, and Douglas Luiz remains at Aston Villa, while Arsenal had a lackluster transfer deadline day in their own right, only offloading Hector Bellerin permanently, as I might add. Uh, and it makes me a little teary-eyed saying that, but it was for the best, and I wish him all the best at Barcelona, a club that he has yearned to go to for a long time. And as he leaves, this is the exact squad that this is the exact squad that will be with them until at minimum the January transfer window. And it'll be interesting to see how if fatigue will set in. It looked like there was a little brief concern in the United game where Gabriel Jesus went down, and it is definitely a weakness for them is their depth in some positions. They also, as well, and not to any surprise, but they also loaned Ainsley Maitland-Niles to Southampton, and he could have been a decent depth piece as well. But I understand where they were going with putting him on loan. But nonetheless, a mixed bag of results for the Gunners, and I look forward to seeing them take on the Toffees next Sunday. It it should be a relatively simple game, but you never know with Everton. They have been tricky this season. I I I don't expect it to go the way it did back in July in Baltimore. But it's the Premier League, so who knows? So anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my analysis, and join me in the Arsenal fan experience next time as Arsenal takes on Everton. Arrivederci.